Effectively managing a project is really an art form. Maintaining a project's scope while ensuring deliverables are met on time and within budget is always the goal from a project's commencement. This begins to get tricky when many different stakeholders and resources are involved, and various factors play a role in derailing a project, for example, scope creep and change orders. This is where having a solid DevOps foundation is incredibly helpful. At a high level, DevOps is a process and/or methodology that serves to more efficiently drive the software development lifecycle. It incorporates many key operational best practices such as project planning, communication, and visibility throughout the project's lifecycle, and when used properly, yields successful deliverables. There's really no shame in getting help to more effectively manage a project and meet deliverables in a timely manner. And finding a good DevOps tool to assist your team in good communication, sprint management, and task assignments helps everyone to collaborate and track project's progress along the way. At PSI, we're committed to project success, and that's why we've invested in a great tool and complementary process that we use on each project. Today, we want to share some software development best practices that add value to each and every project. Things like organizing sprint plans, version control tracking, and graphical reporting. If you're not familiar with the term sprint plan, it's really just a plan that groups together key activities to achieve specific milestones within a project. Sprint plans can be manually created, think writing with pen and paper, but can be very time consuming, especially when activities change. That's why utilizing a DevOps tool that builds and tracks project sprints can save a good amount of project management time, and it's important to assign resources to the tasks within the sprint plan, as well as time to complete each task. This provides a clear picture of where the project is at and where it still needs to be completed to everyone involved with the development process. Best of all, it takes very little time to do this in a customizable program. A more technical tool to help efficiently manage a project through DevOps is version control. We love our DevOps tool's ability to store all the project's code with version control features that make it so easy for multiple engineers to collaborate on. For example, we may have 3 to 5 engineers working on one project at a given time. Version or source control allows for developers to track changes while collaborating on the same code set. Not to mention, it allows them to work on the latest and greatest code versus potentially pulling older versions or checking in outdated code. When setting up a new project, you can configure the project to force code reviews and require that comments be made in the source code. This then merges into the master branch, which is the most up-to-date branch or version that has been approved. You may be thinking, this is just software engineering best practices 101. And yes, it is, but when a project quickly grows with many requirements and many hands involved, staying this organized can be challenging. Part of successfully delivering a project is maintaining healthy visibility and keeping a pulse on project status throughout development. After inputting your sprint tasks and allocating resources and hours to each task, we love to make use of custom dashboards and burn-down graphs. Teaching your team and really all stakeholders with access to your DevOps tool what these graphs and dashboards mean are important so that everyone understands where the health of the project stands. The burn-down graphs are excellent to use comparing the amount of hours allocated to be worked on a project, task, or sprint versus actual hours spent on said project, task, or sprint. Additionally, you can configure it to show resource capabilities and capacity and delivery dates based on resource load. Essentially, this is a sophisticated Gantt chart. All of this is very helpful in providing the project manager with data, even somewhat predictive data, to know whether or not something is further out that may be falling behind. And if the project manager can tell from the graph that something is falling behind, then he or she is able to ask for another resource to pull in the project. All this is very helpful in providing the project manager with data, even somewhat of predictive data, to know further out if something is falling behind. And if the project manager can tell from the graph that something is falling behind, then he or she is able to ask for another resource to pull the project ahead. Most importantly, if the project manager is unable to get more resources or mitigate the issue in some other way, then he or she is able to go back to the project stakeholders and let them know of the delay earlier on before the deadline. The headache of having to rescue a project that is falling behind or failing to meet deliverables can be extremely stressful. So to really drive the point home, a DevOps process and complementary program or tool is incredibly helpful to efficiently manage a software development project, especially from a project management standpoint, but also from an operational standpoint. Having a DevOps process and tool adds so much value to a project in terms of saving time and meeting budgets and milestones. We strive to ensure that our projects have better planning, better communication, and better visibility each and every time using the data provided in our DevOps tool and continually improve our processes and workflows. If you'd like to learn more about our DevOps process, we'd love to speak with you. Ask us how the use of our process and tool can help ensure your project is successfully completed on time and within budget. We're always up for the challenge.
If you found this video to be helpful and would like to learn more, or if you'd like to learn about another specific software development related topic, let us know in the comments below or send us a message at info@psi-software.com.